AFTV, James, 1-0 to the Arsenal. Could have been more, should have been more probably. Totally dominated the game, but off to a winning start in our pre-season friendly over here in Singapore.
Yeah, winning start. No injuries. That's always a good thing in pre-season. I think we looked fairly fit. Actually, did we? You know, the players did what they always do. They work hard. They get into good shape off the ball. They try press. They do all that. I don't think we had the sharpness on the ball I was looking for. Second half was better. When the likes of Norgaard came on, I thought Zubimendi added quite a lot as well. We'll chat about him in a bit. But yeah, good start. And you just want. Sometimes it's not always about performance. Just get some good momentum in there in terms of wins. Get the players comfortable. Just playing in front of crowds. It sounds silly, but it's just
just building back up that.
Yeah, all the stuff that they need to get used to. Yeah.
Well, apart from if you're Turkish, he was expecting like a 6-0 today, but right, but it's kind of like you said, it's building back to be ready for that first game of the season, which is a tough game away to Manchester United.
Yeah, but this is also not just the first game of tour, it's the first pre-season game. I know they played behind closed doors friendly against Watford. They've done that a few times, but normally there'll be something in Germany or something in Spain or just a game or maybe even one or two. I mean, we used to have the Boreham Wood friendlies, I think. There used to be something that would get some kind of minutes into the team in front of a crowd, something televised, something like that. This is the first time that the fans have actually had a good look for the 25-26 season. And there isn't a long time to go. This is one of 5 games ahead of Man United, so it's probably quite a good thing that pre-season starting with tour, an intense game against AC Milan. I thought AC Milan put it about. They weren't great, if I'm honest, but they got players like Lyle and Pulisic and others that keep you on your toes, and there were moments where they were threatening and Arsenal had to stand up to that too. So look, it wasn't a major test, but it was a decent run out for a first pre-season game.
Yeah, now give me the positives from today. Who for you were the positives for Arsenal?
Yeah, I mean, the obvious place start is Max Downman, isn't it? 15 years old, coming on looking that comfortable. I was saying to Turkish earlier today, it almost, I want to be careful I say this, almost feels wrong to be talking about him. He's 15 years old. I kind of feel like, is this right? He should just come on, do his thing, and then on we go. But you see that level of talent, how comfortable he looked. If you were an 18-year-old, I'd be saying, okay, well, he's probably going to play some football this season. That's kind of the level he's giving us. He looked threatening. He was taking on his fullback. His decision-making was great. And there was a confidence in terms of the moments he could have just laid it off to Josh Nichols quite quickly. Went, no, I'll put my foot on the ball and, actually beat a player and make something happen. So he was encouraged. I thought Waneri looked great. I only played the first half. I thought he looked really good. He's the one who wants to shoot. He's the one who wants to make things happen. Saka, brilliant. I thought Zubimendi was really good. And I know there was some debate amongst us in the stands about that. Off the ball, I thought he was recovering brilliantly. I thought he was closing down space, getting close to players quite quickly. And on the ball, he kept trying to fizz it into dangerous areas. I know you can lose the ball there, but Arsenal never want to progress the ball centrally, or we certainly didn't last season. This time I saw him trying to ping the ball into Trossard, into Havertz, into others that, it's a congested space, but you get it right. You're in front of goal. And I think Arsenal could do a little bit more high risk, high reward like that in the team. I think Zubimendi, while keeping things ticking, was trying to play those more penetrative passes through the middle. So, I thought he was a positive.
Yep, and we've spoken about a couple of the young players there, but let's talk about the player that everybody wants to see in that Arsenal shirt come Sunday, which of course Victor Gyokeres.
Who?
The one, this one, right? He's coming, right? What do you expect him to bring to the team?
I don't know if Turkish mentioned this in fan cam. Do you remember when we were all up there and Trossard was put through on ball? Norgaard played a lovely ball. And he just didn't quite have the strength or the pace or the power to kind of work the space to get the shot off goal. By the way, I thought Trossard was really impressive when he came on, actually. Much better than Martinelli, but let's be positive. Gyokeres will feed off that. He's got the pace, got the strength. People keep asking whether his goals will translate to the Premier League. No, he's not going to score 50 goals in the Premier League. But his strength and his pace and his kind of raw physical attributes, he was doing that in the Championship. That is very translatable. He's got that. The question is, will he have the same space? Will he have the quality in tight areas? But that kind of ball from Norgaard, you don't even need the silkiest of touches. You need strength, you need confidence, you need almost this mentality of, directness. And Trossard got it once. I think that's the one time the whole game we played that pass and it worked out. With Gyokeres, he'll make that run 3-4 times. If you can put him in once or twice a game, I think he takes those chances.
You think he fits our system?
No. If I'm honest, no, I actually don't. And that's why when we did the breakdowns, I thought Sesko was more comfortable with what Arteta asked his striker to do. But I want to see us move away from that. Because I've seen our strikers constantly in other areas of the pitch, and I get that there's a tactical benefit to that. You dominate midfields, you you get your wingers close to the goal. Yes, there's other things you get from that. But if you're signing a Gyokeres, it's to get Norgaard and his creative potential up, Saka and his creative potential up, Trossard, Martinelli, even a Declan Rice, the way he can drive through the midfield. Imagine he takes 2-3 players out the game. Defenders are running back panicking. You've opened up space for Gyokeres alone with that kind of thing. So Zubimendi, he's got a creative gene in him. You know, these players hopefully will thrive in a different way with Gyokeres, but we are probably going to have to adapt. But then with some good coaching, like I said, the physical attributes are there. Coach Gyokeres to drop deep, link the ball, you know, link up play, win his headers. I'm not saying he can't do this, by the way. I'm just saying it's not what he's had to do at Sporting. Let's see if he can do it at Arsenal, but let's see if we can play to his strengths too.
Yeah, and what else do we need, do you think? Because, you know, Gyokeres is coming. Is that it? Do you think we need more?
No, we need more. And you know, I'm typically seeing things more positively than maybe others, but I do lean on, if we stop now, I kind of see this as still a 6 out of 10 window. I know that might be really harsh, but I think if you had Eze, it's like a 9. I really think we needed to address the striker position at number 10 and left winger. Now, Madueke can play on the left and he might explode into a player, and we're not seeing it, but he might. Some are seeing it, fine. But he's back up for Saka too, which is great. Eze, I think, is a great starting left winger for us, though he's more of a 10. I think he'd be brilliant out there. And you got cover for Norgaard, and then you got the striker you want. I think you add Eze, it just, the window goes into a different universe for me in terms of how we reflect on it.
Eze would be your priority to try and get before the end of this transfer window.
I wanted Rodrigo, but now we've added Madueke. It doesn't really make sense to be adding 2 wingers. Rodrigo's class, and if we get him, of course, we'll be over the moon. Waneri can play in midfield, but can you imagine going to next season with Norgaard, Waneri, Eze, even Dalman? I mean, that's crazy, but it's like 4th one there, right? 15, turning 16, you know, maybe for some cup games. I grew up on the Arsenal, and to be fair, they didn't win titles. But the Hlebs, Rosickis, Fabregases, players that were just such a joy to watch. And I believe that kind of football can win you titles. And I want players like that. We've seen Bernardo, De Bruyne, Foden, David Silva, all in one squad for Man City, because they got in the pockets, they were terrorising for teams. And that's the direction I thought we were always going to go when we hired Arteta. And we went towards more stability, strength, power. And okay, Arsenal needed that, massively needed that post Wenger and Emery. But let's get some flair in that team. And Eze, who can do things in those central spaces, that's what I want to see in this team. So go get Eberechi Eze. He's available.
Do you reckon Gyokeres can make it Sunday?
Yeah, they want to do a medical here in Singapore. There's otherwise do the medical in London, fly him to Hong Kong, take your time with it. I mean, if you're not trying to get him on the pitch for 20 minutes against Newcastle, I don't see the need to rush this. So yeah, I think absolutely they're working to get him out here for Newcastle. What was it? It's Wednesday. You know, it's Wednesday morning in England as we're recording this, whatever it is. Yeah, I think he'll play on Sunday in some way. Yeah.